What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. And yeah, as y'all can see, I'm back with the Tuesday episodes. This past month, I've been putting out episodes like every Friday. But recently, I did a poll on my Instagram where I asked people, do they prefer Friday or Tuesday episodes? Ultimately, it was split down the middle, but there's a certain person that voted on that poll that said Tuesday, and because I'm not gonna say who they are, but because they said Tuesday, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to do a Tuesday. I gotta do Tuesday episodes. Not only that, but for some reason, I come to see that my videos do a lot better when I upload on Tuesday. For some reason, when I upload on Tuesdays, like it'll be a little slow on Tuesday and Wednesday, but then it will like skyrocket in views and stuff like that when I release them on Tuesdays, opposed to like Friday where it's like whatever views I get during the weekend, that's just typically the views that I'm going to get for the video overall. So I do think it is better, at least for my growth, to do it on Tuesdays. And, if that one person feels like it's more convenient for them on Tuesdays. And also, there was a lot of other people that advocated, and the people that chose Tuesday, I know, are people that actually consistently watch the podcast. So it's like, if I know the people that actually watch it are saying Tuesday, then I'm just going to do it on Tuesday because it's just like, that's more convenient for at least the people that I know that do actually check out the podcast. Um, Today, I don't really have too many topics. I probably only have like two, but before I do get into those two topics, I do want to say I hope you guys had a happy 4th of July. Um, not to bring up anything serious, but I wish more people was hype about Juneteenth than 4th of July. Not saying that more people should be more hype for either or, but I'm just saying that, like, I didn't hear a lot of happy Juneteenths around Juneteenth. That's all I'm saying. But 4th of July, that's another holiday that we all celebrate and we all try to have a good time and stuff like that. I hope y'all had a good 4th of July, because my 4th of July was somewhat ass. I'm not gonna lie. I was at work for most of the day, and then when I got off, my body was so tired I didn't feel like doing anything. My mom did ask me if I wanted to go see fireworks, but like I was so like sore that I was like, you know what? I'd rather just stay home and I'd rather just, you know, watch some fireworks on TV. So that's what I did. I just watched some fireworks on TV. But yeah. Next year though, I will try to be outside. Next year I will try to be outside and then actually enjoy the 4th of July, cuz that was always a holiday that I loved growing up. And it's not necessarily for the same reasons that everybody else is, but it's just more like, for me, barbecue, spending time with the family, you know, food and stuff like that. Like, basically, 4th of July has always been a holiday that I typically enjoyed. There's a lot of things that happened these past few years that kind of makes it a little bit harder to enjoy, which I talked about, I think, in my first episode of the podcast. So, yeah, like 4th of July for me, these past few years hasn't been the best for that holiday, but I do want to be back outside next year. I want to try to enjoy myself. Uh, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the holiday. I'm gonna try to enjoy it next year. And also, before I get into my topics, I do also want to say thank you to everybody that's been subbing to the channel. I've been seeing the numbers go up, especially after my physical media video, which, physical media, I talked about it before on the podcast. It's a very important thing to me. I do love my streamers. I love my Netflix, Hulu, all of that. I love all of that. But there's just something about physically holding a movie or a show that you love. Um, so shout out to the people that's been commenting, that sub to the channel and stuff like that. Um, I even had a comment this morning, and I'm not good with texting back on like apps and stuff like that. I prefer talking, so I guess this is something I could do as time goes on. Like, I can shout out people that subs. Um, V Beavis Corn Holy Beavis Corn Holio 69. Okay, I got the Beavis and Butthead reference there. So thank you for commenting. I did read your comment. I'm going to like it after I'm done filming this episode. But yeah, thank you for the support. And also, just like he said in his comment, I do want to eventually get into like physically collecting TV shows as well. But right now, I'm focusing more on movies just because there's a lot more movies that I prefer to own than TV shows. But eventually, I do want to lean into TV shows. So, everybody that's been subbing, checking out the channel, um, and stuff like that. I want to say thank you to all of y'all because, I've been at this YouTube stuff for a while, grinding. And my big problem was I was never consistent and I would never, like, you know, put 100 or of course you're not supposed to put 100% of yourself out there, but there was a lot of things that I know I could do content wise that I was kind of holding back on. So I was like, you know what, let me just stop doing the podcast. Like, let me do vlogs, let me show like other personal interests like my physical media collection. And I see that the more that I present myself, you guys tend to, like it, subbing and stuff like that. So, yeah, expect more of that. I think one thing I'm going to start doing besides like the regular vlogs that I want to start doing, I think the other thing I'm going to do is do like monthly physical media updates. Let me know down below. Do you guys want monthly or weekly physical media updates? The only thing that makes it hard about weekly is that like I don't be having enough money to like get new movies each week, but at least by the end of the month I can give y'all something. Who knows? Maybe the more I grow on YouTube, then I can, start doing more weekly stuff, but for right now, monthly is the best option for me. But yeah, once again, thank you guys to everybody that's been subbing, checking out the channel. I hope you guys also share and stuff. So yeah, more good content on the way. And now let's get into these topics because, like I said, I really only have two. So the first one I want to talk about is on the 4th of July, Kendrick dropped his Not Like Us music video. And if you guys know me, I'm a big fan of hip hop. I'm a big fan of Kendrick. And I'm also a big fan of Drake. Like, when I talk about this battle with people, I always say that Kendrick obliterated Drake. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Kendrick destroyed Drake. But I do give Drake more credit than a lot of people are willing to give him, especially now that time has passed and like I still listen to push-ups. Family Matters I really don't go back to listen to, but I can admit that Family Matters had a lot of great things in it, like the beats, some of the lyrics, and personally me, I don't think the Heart Part 6 is a bad song. Is it a bad response overall to the allegations served towards you? Yeah, but I don't think it's a bad song. I feel like lyrically that was Drake's best performance throughout the whole battle. And I'm saying only lyric wise. Like if he was on that type of time the whole battle, I feel like people would definitely say it was more evenly matched. And I'm only talking about lyricism. I'm not talking about how he went about, addressing the things that Kendrick said about him. But I'm saying like the level of lyricism on the Heart Part 6. If he came with that level of lyricism throughout the whole battle, I feel like it would be a lot more evenly matched than people say it is. But I'm getting off topic. So yeah, 4th of July, Kendrick dropped the Not Like Us music video. And people were starting to say that Kendrick is kind of like milking Not Like Us and that it's starting to get overplayed. And there's a lot of people saying that, they're tired of Not Like Us. And I kind of want to give my 2 cents on that just because I feel like, and I'm someone where I'm all about fairness. And for people to say that Kendrick Lamar is milking Not Like Us and people saying that he's doing too much with it, I feel like y'all are bullshitting. Cause here's my thing. Let's keep it real. Not Like Us only been out for 2 months. And it's funny, the same people that are saying that Kendrick is milking this are the same people that also complain about him, being away for 5 years one time. Like Kendrick only did that one time in his career, and that's all people can keep talking about. Oh, he went away for 5 years. Y'all acting like he's gonna repeat the cycle over again. And if he does, I'll admit it. I was wrong this episode if he does. But I highly doubt that Kendrick is going to disappear again. I feel like there was like a lot of different factors into why he disappeared the first time. But overall, I'm saying that I don't feel like Kendrick is doing too much with Not Like Us because, first off, I'm going to give y'all 3 reasons. One, it'd be stupid for Kendrick not to capitalize off this. Like, if you're having a big moment in your career, which a lot of people are saying that Drake gave Kendrick his biggest moment in his career, gave him his biggest song. First off, we not gonna do that. We not gonna do that. This is not the biggest moment in Kendrick's career, and this is not the biggest song in his career. Humble exists. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe exists. Mad City exists. Um, Damn near every song on Damn exists. It's like, yo, don't sit here and play. He had all the stars in Black Panther. He made the Black Panther soundtrack, and all the stars and Pray for Me were songs that you could not go the rest of that year without hearing. So I don't want to hear that Not Like Us is his biggest song. Is it probably gonna wind up being like in his whole career, probably gonna be like a top 5 song for people? Yes. But don't sit here and act like this is his biggest song. Kendrick been making hits, and he been had like a lot of big ass songs before this. So back to what I was saying, it would be stupid for Kendrick not to capitalize off this moment, because it is a big moment in his career. Whether I believe this is his biggest moment, I don't think so, but it is a big moment in his career. And whenever artist has a hit song or something like that, what is the main thing people always tell them to do? They always tell them to capitalize, and that's all Kendrick is doing in this moment. He's capitalizing off one of the biggest moments in his career. And then, not to mention, he's been wanting to battle Drake for like the past decade. So now that he finally got this moment, look, just imagine you and somebody that you don't like have been beefing for the past decade. When you finally get that moment, and I'm not trying to encourage violence or anything like that, but when you do finally get that moment to like get at them, you're gonna make it worthwhile. So for me, it's just like I feel like Kendrick would be stupid to not capitalize off this. This is a big moment in his career. You know, he's battling the person he's been wanting to battle for like the past decade. Just like he says, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. And I'm not, yo, I can already see comments where people are saying that I'm like a Kendrick stan. But like I said, I am also a very big Drake fan. I give credit to Drake when it's due, and I defended Drake a lot, actually a lot in this battle. Like I said, Heart Part 6 is my favorite song. So, and also I defended him with Tailor Made Freestyle. Now, if you guys want me to go deeper into that in another episode, then I'll do that. But I defended Drake a lot. So just know, yes, I am a big Kendrick fan, but I am also a very big Drake fan. But my second reason for why I feel like Kendrick's not overdoing it is because or not even personally. Actually, I forgot my third reason. So I guess this is going to be the second reason and probably the last reason. But the other reason is, like I said, I'm someone where I'm all about fairness. And if we rewind the clock back to 2015, when Drake and Meek Mill was battling, Drake was also doing the same things that Kendrick is doing right now. Trolling Meek Mill, having shows in his city where he's like playing memes that the internet made. He's taking pictures with Kevin Hart and Will Smith laughing at Meek Mill. There was another thing. Oh, not only that, but he was sneak dissing and just straight up dissing Meek for like the next 2 years after winning that battle. Like, Drake did not let up on Meek Mill at all. And I never heard anybody say Drake is overdoing back to back. Back to back is getting overplayed. I never heard anybody say that. And there probably is people saying that, like everybody has their own opinions, but I did not hear people say that. Like, Drake literally would not let his foot off of Meek Mill's neck for like the next 2 years after Back to Back came out. So it's like Drake was doing his thing when he won his battle. Everybody gave him credit where it's due. So why can't we do the same thing for Kendrick? Especially since Kendrick, this might actually be his first real like rap battle in terms of like, you know, on a mainstream scale, because we've seen Drake into a lot of battles. Drake is very battle tested. And while I personally don't feel like, you know, Meek Mill did bad in his battle against Drake, or personally, me, honestly, I feel like Meek won the battle, to be honest. But I still give credit to Drake where it's due. In the overall eye of the public, Drake did his thing. And I'm not going to lie, while I don't think Drake did the best that he could, Back to Back was still a big moment in his career. So I'm just like, why can we celebrate when Drake wins in the public eye, but we can't celebrate when Kendrick wins? It's just like, I don't see how some people are saying that Kendrick is doing too much. The only thing that Kendrick did that Drake didn't do was basically what was it? Was basically make a music video. That's the only thing that Kendrick hasn't done that I mean, that's the only thing that Kendrick did that Drake hasn't done. Like, if Drake wanted to do a music video for Back to Back, he definitely would have. So, yeah. I just don't feel like I just don't feel like Not Like Us is being overplayed. I don't feel like Kendrick is doing too much. The only thing I do have to say about Not Like Us, and I think I said this in the video where I was talking about my thoughts on the whole battle. Personally, me, I'm a Euphoria type guy. I love Euphoria way more than Not Like Us. Don't get me wrong, Not Like Us is a banger. I still listen to it on repeat. I can rap that song word for word, but Euphoria is so much better of a diss track in my opinion. And it's kind of funny because before Not Like Us came out, it was around the time that Euphoria came out. The very next day that Euphoria came out, I was talking to one of my coworkers about Drake and Kendrick's battle. And my coworker, he's more of a, I'm not too worried about the disses. I want to hear a hit type guy. And I was like, bro, like this is a rap battle. I'm not too worried about hearing a hit. Like, I want to hear good ass bars. I want to hear you embarrass your opponent. Like, that's what I come to a rap battle for. But he was saying that he just wants to hear more hits. And at the time, like I said, this was after Euphoria came out. And he was like, he said, that's why I have Drake winning, because Drake is actually making songs that sounds like hits. Because I can't deny, push ups sound like a hit. I'm not going to lie, even though I love Euphoria, Not Like Us, and basically all of Kendrick's diss tracks, I still listen to Push Ups because it does sound like a nice ass song. Like, drop him, give him 50, drop him, give him 50. Like, I love that. So it's just like, it wait, I'm trying to figure out where I was at. See, that's the thing. I'd be going on tangents and then I'd be forgetting where I'm at. Oh yeah, so like we were talking about how I want to hear more of a battle. He wants to hear more hits. And sadly, I think that's why Not Like Us is obviously the more popular one. Cause here's the thing. I believe Euphoria is the better diss track. Like Kendrick was being straight disrespectful on Euphoria. But Not Like Us is the better diss track. I mean, Not Like Us is the better hit track. Like, it's a better hit record. So, yeah, Euphoria is the better diss record. Not Like Us is the better hit record. So it makes sense why Not Like Us is more popular. It got that bouncy West Coast sound that you can just like dance and have fun to. It's something that bumps in the club. But Euphoria, while it does have moments where maybe you can play it in the club, for the most part, it is just not something that you would play in the club. And it's not the type of vibe that people are going to want to hear when they're at a party too much and stuff like that. So personally, me, that's the only thing I will say about this battle. I will say that Euphoria needs a lot more credit. Euphoria deserves a lot more credit. 616 in LA also deserves a lot more credit. Like, Meet the Grams and Not Like Us are the main two that people like overplay, or not overplay, but they're the main ones that people play a lot. The main ones that people gravitate towards. But personally, me, Euphoria, 616 in LA, those are the main ones that I'm really listening to, along with Not Like Us. Meet the Grams, I gotta be in a mood to listen to that. But, every other song I gotta be, or every other song I can just listen to. And I feel like Euphoria and 616 definitely deserves more credit, but definitely Euphoria. I feel like that is the best record that Kendrick dropped throughout this whole battle. And that's the crazy thing about me. Like, it's always the songs that aren't the popular ones, are not as popular, that I always believe are the best. Like, on Kendrick's side, Euphoria is my favorite song. On Drake's side, it's split between Push Ups and damn, the Heart Part 6. It's split between those two. Push-ups for how brutal it is and how like upbeat and, well, not upbeat, but more for like how hype it is, and then the Heart Part 6 more for its lyricism. Like, that's the type of stuff that I'm into, like when it comes to this battle. So yeah, let me know down below. Do y'all feel like Kendrick is doing too much? Is there something I said that y'all disagree with? Let me know down below. Let's talk about it. Um, and the last topic that I had today, and y'all know I'm a big Power fan. I wanted to give my thoughts on Power Book 2, Season 4, at least for the first half of this season, because this past week was the mid-season finale. We're not getting no new episodes until September 6th. That sucks that I have to wait 2 months. Now I gotta find another show to watch to keep me like company for 2 months. But yeah, Power Book 2 mid-season finale. First, I'm gonna get my thoughts on the mid-season finale, then I'll get my thoughts on like the season so far. This mid-season finale, I feel like a lot of people are being kind of harsh on it. And I feel like it's because it was marketed as a mid-season finale. But my thing is, I don't feel like it was that bad of an episode because if this wasn't marketed as a mid-season finale, this would, like everybody else, I feel like would just be fine with this episode. A lot of the things that happened in this episode were like stuff that you would typically see, regular in Power. Like, I guess going into spoiler territory, you know, Noma and Kane finding out about what Tariq and Braden has been up to for half of the season. Tariq finding out that Braden and his new girlfriend Elle are both coke heads, and that she knows a lot more about the business than Tariq believed that she did. Diana coming out and telling Tariq that she wants to keep the baby, but she wants him to leave the life. It's a lot of standard things that you would see in a Power episode. So I don't understand why people are being as harsh with it, but I feel like it's because it was marketed as a mid-season finale that people are being a lot more harsher, and they're probably believing that, like, hey, if we're gonna be going 2 months without this show, like we needed more of a bang. But for me, it was enough of a bang for me, especially with the final one of the few final scenes where Detective Carter finally comes out and reveals that he's somewhat of a dirty cop. And the reason that I say he's somewhat of a dirty cop is, unlike in other times in Power where we've seen dirty cops where they're selling the drugs, Carter is basically like he's policing the drug dealers, but he doesn't really care about anybody else. He's like his rules was, you guys can continue to sell because we can't fully get rid of drug dealers. We can't fully get rid of y'all. People are always gonna want their drugs. So he says, kill each other, but don't kill innocent people. Do what you gotta do, but do not harm innocent people. And he proved his point by identifying that the person that Drew and Monet that was working with them that night, he identified them as someone that killed an innocent, and he just killed him right then and there. He just popped him, and he was like, yeah, Drew, Monet, y'all can go, but don't hurt no innocent people. So it was just a very interesting angle to me, and that's why I feel like it was a good enough, pop for me. Now, the well, before I get on to the things I dislike, let me keep talking about Carter, because for me, I found that now, out of all the gangster shows and movies that I watched, um, I never really seen a cop like that before in any gangster movie or show that I've seen. Like Carter, he's crazy and he's cold. Like he just straight up said, like, don't hurt no innocents or you'll just end up just like him. Like, I just, yo, Carter, he's definitely up there for one of my favorite Power villains. He's not better than Ronnie or Lobos to me, but when it comes to Power villains, yeah, we got to talk about Carter. He is a crazy nigga. He is crazy. So, yeah, any other Power fans, let me know how you feel about Carter. And sadly, just like any other Power villain, I don't think he's gonna make it to the end of the series. I don't mean, if there's a sequel series, I don't think he's gonna continue on. But I will say that for the time that he is here, I am very much enjoying his character. He is crazy, he is ruthless, and he's unlike any other villain that I personally seen in any of these type of shows or movies. So yeah. Now let's go on to the dislikes of the episode. There's only two scenes that I really had a real problem with. And the first scene was Tariq's, acid trip where he learned more about himself. I feel like they were trying to make that moment bigger than what it really was. And when I say that, what I mean is like at the end of the scene, he finally came to terms that he's a lot more like his dad than he wanted to admit. And he also came to terms with the fact that he is having a baby with Diana, and he fully accepts that now he's ready to become a father. And now, in terms of him accepting being a father, I can get with that. The thing that I just can't get with is the part where he's finally admitting that he's like his dad. Because even after that, the final scene of the episode was him talking to Braden, and he finally said, like, I'm more like my dad than I like to admit. And Braden was like, I never heard you say that before. And Tariq says, I never wanted to admit it before. But the thing is, that would be a nice moment if you already didn't already admit it before. Like, one of the last few things that he said before he shot his dad in the original Power was, Dad, I'm you. Like, he basically admitted that he was more like his dad than he'd like to admit already. And that was the main point. And that is one of the main points of Power Book 2. He struggles with the identity that he doesn't want to admit that he's like his dad. Now, yes, he admitted it in the original Power, and you could probably say like he maybe went back on that a little bit in book 2, and he was trying to make himself seem like he wasn't his father. But the thing is, the whole show hinged on him going back and forth like, yeah, I'm like my dad. No, I'm not like my dad. Yeah, I'm like my dad. So I guess in that aspect, you can say that like the acid trip finally made him say like, okay, there is no more denying. I am basically like my dad. But for me, I just took it more like this is something that you already knew in the back of your mind. Even if you were arguing with yourself on the outside, on the inside, it very much felt like you already knew this. And I just didn't feel like now obviously the imagery and all of that of the scene powerful, but I just feel like the overall message that he finally was going to admit that he's like his dad is just like, bro, like we knew this already. You knew this already. So I just feel like that scene, not that it could have been cut out, but it could have definitely been done better, in my opinion. And when I say done better, I don't mean like I need to see Ghost. You know, would it have been nice to see Ghost? Yes, but it wasn't a requirement for me in that scene. But for me, it was just more like the main, at least for me, the acid trip probably shouldn't have been more focused on whether he was more like his dad or not. It should have focused more on like how he wants to go about his future or something like that. At least for me, that's where I stand with it. The other scene that I had a problem with was Kane versus Zion. And this has been a problem with like a lot of Power fans, how like new villains will come in and they make them look big, bad, and crazy and stuff like that. And then things will happen that makes the villain not as big and bad as crazy as the show was initially trying to make them seem. And Zion, he came into this show with a lot of crazy energy. Even Gianni and Michael Rainey Jr., when they were talking about the Crew Has It podcast, when they were talking about season 4, they were talking about Zion, saying that there's a new character that they're working for that is crazy and unpredictable. And so his character introduction was crazy. Then on their podcast, they're talking about how crazy he is. I'm waiting to see him like do damage to Tariq, Braden, and the Tejadas and stuff like that. Just for him, who is also, they set him up to be a trained fighter, and he owns the ring that they go to. So he's a trained fighter that owns that ring. And you're telling me that a street dude like Kane can just get up off his ass, say I'm a natural, and beat him that easily in a fight? Like, I could see it if it was more of an evenly matched fight, like they just going blow for blow, they both doing their thing, and then Kane just happens to get the upper hand at the end of the fight. But no, Kane was washing the fucking floor with Zion. And it's just like the way that y'all set up Zion's character, there was no reason for Kane to sweep him up like that. That was too easy of a fight. And I feel like they did not do Zion justice. I feel like it should have been a lot harder of a fight for Kane. And typically me, I defend when Power, downplays their villains sometimes. Like, I typically do defend it. But this one I just can't defend. Like, I personally didn't even like that Kane easily won. I don't have a problem with Kane winning. I have a problem with Kane easily winning against a trained fighter who is a crazy nigga. I don't see why did Kane you can see that this fight actually might have pissed me off the most out of any episode um so far in the show like that. Like there was no reason that Kane should have easily won. Now, I know there is rare cases where like more of a street fighter can beat somebody or be evenly matched with somebody that is a trained fighter. If you watch that fight video between Floyd Mayweather and Ti, like it was kind of like that. They were both evenly matched, even though Floyd is a trained fighter, Ti is a street fighter. So there is those rare occasions where a street fighter can be on par with somebody, but where a street fighter is going to straight up easily beat a trained fighter is just like, bro, easily though, like I can see, I can see evenly, but easily, okay, no, that's not what we're gonna do. That's not what we're gonna do. Well, I guess that is what we're doing because the episode's already filmed and that was the outcome of the fight. So I guess that is what we're doing. Um, but overall, so far, season four, I thought season four was going to be a little bit better. Now, don't get me wrong. It is, if I'm ranking the season so far in book two of Ghost, season four is my second favorite season. But I don't know. I feel like season three, the writing was slightly a little bit better. The story was paced a little bit better. I feel like that's my biggest problem with season four right now is really the pacing. I feel like there's things that are moving too fast. There's things that are moving too slow. Like one thing that moved a little too fast for me was how quickly, and I mean, I know this is somewhat part of the plot, but it's how quickly that Monet is willing to let Diana and Drew completely back in their lives after trying to kill her. Like, I feel like Kane is taking more of the realistic approach where it's like, I'm letting y'all live, but don't get too comfortable around me. But Monet, like, the way that she completely, and, it is understandable, but at the same time, it's just like I feel like things are being a little bit rushed, and I feel like we would have benefited more from getting more episodes since this is the final season. I feel like we would have benefited more from getting like more episodes, like maybe 12 episodes, 11, just an extra one or two would suffice. Another thing that I feel like is moving way too quick is Braden and Elle's relationship. Like for season one of Power, like it took him a while to even tell Riley what he was up to with Tariq. Um, Season three, he didn't even want to reveal at all to his new girlfriend like what was going on with him and Tariq. But as soon as he meets Elle, it's like she knows everything about the business, and I feel like there's something. I feel like we needed more scenes between them for her to be knowing everything like that. Like there's just certain things that I feel like is just moving too quick, and there's also certain things that I feel like are moving a little too slow. Like for me, something that's moving too slow is Tariq trying to get somewhat revenge on the Tejadas because he keeps saying every week, like, oh, we need to be on the offense. We need to be the apex predators. We need to do this. We need to do that. Nigga, you've been saying this every week. When are you going to put something into motion? And now, I mean, in this episode, they did lay the groundwork for him to put something into motion, like him meeting Anya last episode and like him trying to start a connection with her. So he is putting stuff in motion now, but it's just like you've been saying for so long that you've been wanting to put stuff into motion. It's like, come on, man. Come on. So personally, me, I feel like season three is still better. Don't get me wrong though. I still love season four. It's just slightly under season three for me. And you never know. The second half could elevate season four for me. But as of right now, season four is just kind of like it's this is season three. Season four is kind of like right here. And depending on where the second half of season 4 go, it could either be up like evenly matched or either up here. So we'll just have to see. But yeah. Um I'm really rocking with season 4, despite my little gripes. And it's crazy because I feel like this always happens with Power. Like season 6 of the original Power, I still love season 6, but I still have my gripes with it. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just something with me and like seasons of Power. But yeah. But let me know down below. I know I got Power fans that be watching my videos sometimes, so let me know down below what y'all think. If you guys still want my overall predictions for the season, I did do a prediction episode like months ago when the season first got their teaser trailer, I think. So yeah, if you guys want to know my theories, because I feel like a lot of the theories that I had in that video still exist for me now. So if you guys want to know what I feel like is going to happen, watch that episode. And yeah, so like I said, let me know down below anything that I talked about today, like Not Like Us, the Drake and Kendrick battle, Power Book 2, like whatever y'all feel like y'all want to add your 2 cents onto, let me know down below what y'all think. Once again, thank you to a lot of the new subs. I know you guys mostly probably subbed for my physical media, but I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and I hope you guys, stick around for the podcast. And aside from the podcast, I am also going to do the vlogs and physical media updates as well. So I hope you guys stick around. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, share it with your friends and family, whatever you want to do. And yeah, with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.